Sorry, folks, we're going to have to hold off on functions for just a second because I didn't want to kind of throw arrays in there at you and not really get into it. Again, constants don't change. Variables and lets are a little bit more malleable. Now, if you notice, we've got a little added bonus here. And the reason is because I wanted to explain to you arrays in a little bit more of a detailed sense. We want to kind of put this on its own because you're going to be using arrays often. In fact, the basis of a lot of what we do in the future is going to predicate our knowledge of arrays, or be predicated on our knowledge of arrays. So as I said, there are functions that you can use with arrays and with this for loop here, and you can also do while, whatever, do while. Basically, loops are whatever iteration of loops you use. It's just how you would prefer telling the computer to do a certain thing a certain amount of times. And it doesn't have to be by number, it could be by actions, whatever. We'll worry about loops a little bit more detailed later. But if you notice, like I said, if I were to load the screen, this pops up, 0, 1, 2, 3, comma. The reason is because we used the array function push. Now, there are other array functions that you can use, but push, what it tells the JavaScript, and again, JavaScript, I don't want to say compiler, but what it tells JavaScript is take the most recent value and add it to the array. Now, there are other array functions, or methods, if you will, that we're going to look at here. And other ones would be, as one I was doing before, we can then take each individual one of these and we can split it. We can then say var splitsville equals array dot split, and wherever you see a comma, split it. And all this does is it makes another array, only it's just another array, but now we'll go, and we don't have to do this. No, you know, let's do it, but I'll explain to you what we're doing here. So you take that value, we just made another array, it's the same array. But now if you want to get a value, just one specific value in that array, you would open up those brackets again, and in there you would say which number value you want. In this case, we want I, wherever the for loop ends, whatever the value is, we want that. Did I have the right? Yeah. Okay, so let's get that out of there for a second. Let's go array I. We'll push I, and then we'll say array the index of I. So now you see that we're back at 5, and the reason is because when this for loop was finished, the index was at 5. Now let's do something without a for loop. Let's just go array 2 equals, and we'll put stuff in there. We'll put you, me, that dude, that lady, that guy. All right? If we wanted to print out a certain one of these indexes, this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, we would then go document. Let's put another ID out here. Array stuff. Go document, get element ID, array stuff. Did I put an underscore? I don't think I did. Nope. Dot inner HTML equals array 2, we can open the bracket and go 3. And then you get the third index, that lady. See, so when you are, and you can declare an array like this. I mean, I don't know why. It's so much easier to just do this. And it really doesn't make any difference. It's not like the computer explodes or something if you use brackets. It's the same thing. But again, what you would get is the index of that array. Because as I've said, arrays are variables that hold multiple values. So this value of the second index is that dude. Now it's not I'm sorry, not the second index, the number 2 index. Why is it not me? 0, 1, 2, 2, 0, 1, 2. Starts at 0. If you wanted the first index or the 1 index, it would be the second. If you want the first index, it would be the 0. And of course, if you go with something stupid, you're going to get none, undefined, because you don't have a 909th index. But again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it gets confusing when I say the first and the second. This is the first one in the array, but the index is 0. I should have started with this and then moved on to the loops, but I wasn't thinking I was going to get this deep into arrays. But, so the first element is actually the 0 index. And then the second is the 1 index. Because again, computers start everything at 0. So that's how you would make an array. That's how you could fill an array. And that's how you would print individual indexes of arrays. Like I said, we have different array methods. There's push, which is join, which is like you can join things together. Here, let me show you. So like you can join things as opposed to split them. There is a, what was the one I was thinking of? Yeah, I want to get a list of these though. Because again, I can't just remember them off the top of my head. That's just me. Let's go to, so you have like toString, and what toString means is that we can turn this into a string. When you turn it to a string, if you print it as a string, it's just a string. See? If you were to convert it to a string, that means you have this. So if I were to say var non-array equals array2 dot toString, and I were to say non-array, you see now it's just a string. It's not an array. So I can't do this because, I mean, now it's, when you do that with a string, now you're starting off at the first letter. So it's not an array anymore. It's just a string. So you can then go further and say var new array equals non-array split, and then you can go document, get element by ID, array stuff, inner HTML equals new array 0. And now it's back to being an array because we split it amongst the commas. So you can take a string, or you can get a string, and you can convert it to an array using split. You can also use splice, which removes certain elements. So if some idiot came along and said, I want to make like a jackass and moron, once we make it a new array, we can then go new array equals itself with, and we'll splice, and it's the index to start from and the amount you want to take out. So it would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'd be, we start from the fourth one, we take out 2. And then we'll just print out the new array. Actually, I did that wrong. It's the it splices out. It'll print out what you just spliced. Or it'll okay, yeah, I did it wrong. At position 2, move 2 items, right? So we just move those. Let's make that 5 then. Starting at 5. And you get the ones that you don't want. You can pop. Pop's good. Pop just removes the last element. So we can go pop. And then we'll print out the new array. Well, I mean, that's just popping. See, the reason why is because I'm equaling it to what I did, what I did. So I shouldn't do that. Let's go like this. See, now I don't have that anymore. If I were to go, let's do that, splice 5, 2, since I'm not equaling it to that. I wanted to show you the array without it, but since then that's how you remove those. Filter is, it's like a search. Yeah, but you got a bunch of them. Concat is that you concatenate it. But like I said, let's do a different one. Oh yeah, let's do length. That's the one I wanted. If you had to see the, like for instance, okay, so let's do this. Let's do this again. A good example of why you would use length, for instance, which is just a function that tells you the length of the array, is, well, no, let's not get rid of that. I don't need a for loop for that. But let's just go, let's do length. Let's say, length is 5. That's how many we have after we took out those 2. If we get rid of that. But like I said, that would be something you'd want to use in like a for loop. So you can say for, we could put this up here. Remember, everything in computers reads from the top down to the bottom. So if you want to declare something that you'll use later on, declare it above it. So we want to declare this before the for loop. But we can do everything the same way we've been doing. And we can go equals new array dot length. And now this would work the amount of times it would take to get through the length of the array. So that's another good array function. So again, like I said, I always go to this, the W3 schools, for, you know, just certain references and everything like that. And there are a lot that you can use with arrays. Again, the reason why I show you this, and I want to show you how they work, is so that you can think while you're making like JavaScript or whatever, why would I use that? You know, why would I want to use this? Why would I want to use split? Why would I want to make an array? So I want you to kind of like see what we do, and again, investigate on your own with stuff like this, just so you can get an idea of how it all works, how it looks, and you can get a better idea of how it doesn't work and doesn't look, but you can get a better idea of how you can put these things together on your own. We're done with arrays. Again, I can go through every one of these, but I mean, there's really no point to it. You can look it up on your own. This is a nice reference. It's the idea is to understand what arrays are and the actual formatting of JavaScript in the way that they do. Now we're going to use another programming language later on, and we're going to see this stuff again. And once we do that, you'll get a better idea of how to use these to your advantage. But those are your variables, those are your arrays. Tomorrow we'll start doing functions and all that good stuff. I'll see you then.